Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Fightersrep video podcast. Today we've got a special interview for you, none other than Joshua Fachtmann, aka the Korean Pitbull, right there on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua, man, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, George. Appreciate it.
Man, Joshua, it's such a pleasure to finally have you on the show. You know, I kind of wanted to go do this with you in person, but because of this whole crazy pandemic, I wasn't allowed to do it. First and foremost, how are you doing right now, man, with this whole pandemic and everything else going on?
Um, I'm doing okay. It really hasn't affected my lifestyle, to be honest. I'm still working. Only thing that's different is I can't really train as much as I used to.
Yeah.
But yeah, my life's kind of been a little, well, work-wise, it's been the same.
And I hit you up, and you kind of just got out of training. I mean, you were at UFC gym La Mirada.
Yeah,
I know you've represented NHC in the past. Where
yeah.
is Joshua Fachtmann, aka the Korean Pitbull, training at right now, brother?
I'm still there. I'm still with my Coach Chris. I'm still at NHC. I do train. I spar around at Pasadena Fight Academy. I sparred at Classic a couple times. But yeah, I'm still in my home gym.
Shout out to Krishna Kim. That's my brother, man.
Yeah, there you go.
You're not the only guy he's introduced me to. He's also introduced me to Tommy Mai, Mma Coach, a couple other guys that you train
Yeah,
with. Um,
yeah, we're all there.
so Josh, you've been in the fight game for a minute now, man. Between MMA fights and kickboxing fights, I mean, you've got at the very least, I think like 9 or 10 fights. Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct.
When did this start? How did this whole fight thing start? Because as I usually say, it's not the easiest business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally understand you. Started about when I was 18, 17, I forgot. And my little neighborhood kid took me to a gym because he didn't want to go alone. And that first day, I got my butt kicked by like this 12-year-old little boy. And it kind of, yeah, it like destroyed my ego, but I haven't stopped since. So kind of thanks to that kid, kind of helped me out.
And where'd you go, Josh? Where was it that you went to kind of introduce you to the martial arts?
How my first MMA coach, his name is shout out to Coach Rashawn. He owned this gym called Zoe MMA and Fitness. It was in Fullerton, and we went. They were affiliated with Leon Jiu Jitsu, and we just kind of hooked up, and it just took off ever since. And then I also went to train at Noah, Tillis MMA in Whittier. He
Yeah.
was my first official MMA coach that got my first fights and etc.
Got you. So you were like 17 or 18 years old when this happened?
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
And you said you got beat up by a 12-year-old. That had to hurt the ego, you said.
Yeah, because I was lifting a lot of weights and I thought looking good really kind of did something, but that kid kicked my butt.
I got you, man. Hey, like,
Yeah.
a lot of people think lifting weights is enough. It's not. It's not.
No, it's enough for it's enough for the beach, but definitely not when it goes to the ring.
So, Josh, man, one thing that, really stood out about you for me was, well, besides your fighting style, and we'll get into that in a bit, because I got a lot of questions for you.
Hmm.
But, you were sporting the Korean flag into the
Yeah.
ring, and you were also wearing it after the fight when you fought Yeno Kapushin at Fightersrep 5. So my question to you is, I mean, were you born in Korea? Were you born in the U.S.? Are you just a proud Korean American? Tell me a little bit about that.
I was born in South Korea. I came here when I was like 5 or so. My grandfather is German, hence my last name.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So my dad's pretty much half half. My grandpa's full Caucasian. My mother's side is all Korean, and yeah, but we're pretty much Korean at home. Speak Korean, eat Korean, and all that. So yeah.
That's very cool, man. And I was wondering about your last name. I'm glad you cleared that up for me because I was like this.
Yeah,
I was like this guy. He's rocking a Korean flag. He looks Korean, and
yeah,
he's his last name is Fachtmann. I was very confused about that.
yeah. I know. I get that a lot. They're like, "You sure that's your last name?" And yeah,
But I mean, was your German grandfather in Korea? I mean, what happened there?
yeah. He was a German, pretty much a U.S. Marine during the World War II, but on the U.S. side, and he was an intelligence officer, and he served in the Korean War, and met my grandmother while serving, and then boom, my dad became what's that term, baby boomer. Yeah,
I love it, man. I love it. That's a very
yeah.
interesting mix. I mean, is that something that's pretty common, or is that a rarity?
No, it's well, Korean German is kind of rare. There are some of Korean Germans, but you're not gonna really run into a lot of Korean Germans, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But it sounds like you're more, maintaining the Korean aspect, and you're more Korean than you are German. Am I right about that?
yeah. Unfortunately, I never met my grandfather's side. Only person I know is literally my grandpa, and I never met his side of the family. And my grandpa speaks full Korean, full Japanese, some
Wow, wow.
Chinese. So yeah,
Wow. So Josh,
yeah.
you come out to the United States when you're 5 years old. I mean, or are you going to California? Did you start off somewhere else? Where did you go right after you came here?
Right after I lived in Long Beach, and then from there I moved to Orange County, Buena Park, Fullerton area, and I stayed here ever since.
Gotcha. Well, shout out to Long Beach. I'm in San Pedro right
Hey,
now, so we got to
oh,
show Long Beach some love. So, I mean, you're a Long Beach guy.
oh yeah, pretty much. But my heart's in Fullerton. I just don't remember Long Beach too much, just to be honest.
For sure, my man. For
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
hmm
So, I mean, and Joshua, you speak Korean in the house, you said?
Yeah. When I see my mother, when I go visit her, I speak Korean. But yeah, my girlfriend's Korean, and we speak Korean to each other,
Wow.
and
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Very
that's
cool. Very cool. Very cool. So, I mean, kind of, what got you? I mean, besides this little kid, taking you to the martial arts school. I mean, did anything else influence you into getting into martial arts, or it was just that kid?
No, I mean, when you're in high school, when you're 15, 14 and all that, you just kind of running amok, and all you do is just fight because you can't drink or smoke or none of that stuff. So I just wanted to be prepared. Once I get into a fight, I'm not gonna look stupid. And
Right. Right. Right.
that was kind of the other side of it, why I chose to go with them in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But after me getting my butt kicked, I kind of learned a better lesson. That stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And how long have you been training now, Josh?
uh, but I'm turning 30 soon, so 10 years.
Wow, man. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a long time. Has it been mostly Muay Thai, kickboxing? What's the majority of your training been?
Uh, Half half. The first half was pretty much boxing and just grappling, jiu-jitsu and boxing, and I had to fight this guy named Roman Puga,
Oh
and
man.
yeah, I know he's a
I'm
tough
very,
cookie.
I'm very
Yeah.
familiar with Roman Puga, brother.
Oh yeah. Me and Roman threw down, and I noticed he had flashy kicks. So I hit up Krishna to learn how to kick for that fight camp, and that was about 5 years ago, I believe, and I just stuck. Yeah, I've been there ever since. So my training slowly, eventually, just kind of switched from grappling and boxing to just straight Muay Thai kickboxing. And
Wow, man, Joshua, that's incredibly interesting because Roman Puga
yeah,
fought for our 145-pound title against Yannick Kapushian, who you
oh yeah,
fought
I
at
know.
Fighters Rep 5. So, I mean, he fought for us at Fighters Rep 2 against Yannick. And then you fought Yannick, the same opponent, at Fighters Rep 5. I think that's pretty interesting, man.
Yeah, it's this fighting world it's a small world. You're gonna run into somebody that you know of, or you train with at a different gym, and yeah, it's bound to happen.
For sure, man, for sure. And Roman is now in. I mean, he last fought in Bellator. He's also had a pro boxing fight, so he's definitely
Yeah.
continuing to develop. Speaking of which, I mean, Joshua, you're an amateur now,
Hmm.
and are we looking at a transition into the pros at some point soon, or are you still toiling away at the amateurs, or what's kind of the
No, I'm getting old. I need to start making money off this. This is not gonna be my main income, but it
yeah
doesn't hurt to get a little extra cash for going in there and fighting somebody. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, my goal was actually to get get my pro this year, but this whole crazy thing happened, and no one's fighting right now.
Well, I mean, who was it that you were thinking of going pro for? Now you got me curious, man.
No, it was actually you guys, George. Yes, sir.
I love that. I love to hear
Yeah,
that, man. I love to hear
yeah,
that.
yeah,
So I wanted, I'm hella excited to have you as a pro. I know also we got the freight train who kind of works out with you, right? He also wants Abel Lara. He also wants to go pro.
yeah. Me and Abel are teammates. I've known him for a while. We met at this gym called All In with Francisco Rivera, and yeah, me and Abel kind of been training ever since. And he came over to my gym, and yeah, he's been collecting titles. That guy's a beast.
And are you and Abel kind of, running the streets, letting the people in the streets know your what you guys do, or are you guys well behaved right now?
No, I'm well behaved. Definitely well behaved.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
good, because we don't want you guys hurting anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This definitely not worth it.
Well, Josh, I'm hella excited to have you and Abel, and any of the other guys, obviously affiliated with NHC and Krishna, come
Yeah.
on board. Are you guys like loosely affiliated as well with the Long Beach Khmer Boxing, the Pradal Saray school? Because I mean, we have I think Mooney is like cousins with
Yeah.
Krishna, right?
Yes. Krishna, my coach, that's his grandfather. So there's like a lineage of pretty much fighters, kickboxing fighters, and his grandfather is actually pretty much the owner of that gym,
Yeah.
and then we're all connected in a little circle.
Yeah, that's amazing. We've had Christian O'Brien fight for us a few times.
Yeah.
He's a
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
man.
Hmm.
He's a guy who's gotten real good. I mean, if you look at his first fight for us
Yeah.
compared to his second and third, he's really evolved a ton. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, definitely. His last one was very, and he's racking up the record pretty fast. He's been busy.
Yeah, no, he's looking good. So I mean, I'm definitely excited about your camps. I wanted to touch on your fight at Fightersrep 5.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, that's the only opportunity I've had to work with you.
Yes, sir.
But I wanted to touch on that because that was a fantastic fight against Yeno Kapushin, a very talented kid.
Hmm.
What were kind of your thoughts on that fight?
Um, you know, Krishna told me I could have done better right after the fight. That's like literally the first thing he said. That he like just shook his head and was like, "You could have done better." And you know, it's I know I could have done better. I think I just knew that I think he had like 10 fights coming in, and
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
young. He was like 20, and I knew he was very active. But since I know the MMA style of striking, I knew he was going to be very wide-footed, wide stance, and I could just chop his legs very easy. And MMA guys don't really check their kicks because they usually train to take you down right after you kick them.
Right, right.
So I pretty much kind of exploited that, and I just kind of had a strategy of just kicking his leg out as much as possible.
Well, I mean, what I kind of saw in that fight, Joshua,
Yeah.
was you being on the offensive most of the fight,
Hmm.
and I felt like, man, you were very, very aggressive, and it was to the point where I was like, I'm sitting ringside watching you guys. I'm sitting ringside watching you guys fight, at my show, and I'm like, man, I love this kid's style. He's just coming forward, coming forward, coming
Yeah.
forward. I mean, you were very aggressive. Tell me a little bit about, that style and where that came about. And is that how you typically fight?
Um, yeah, we have this thing at our gym. It's like a motto. It's called DBAB, DBAB, and pretty much means don't be a, and you just yeah, we have that thing going on. Just fight down and walk forward, and then just kind of make them fold eventually.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the style that I've eventually kind of grown into. Um, and yeah.
Well, I love that style, man. And, it was from that performance where, I kind of reached out to Krista and I was like, man, Krista, like, I really enjoyed working with you guys. And, Joshua's got a freaking dog in him. That's what I said. Joshua's got a dog in him. Did he tell you? Did he tell you anything that I said?
No,
or he didn't
he
tell
didn't tell
you?
me anything. He didn't tell me anything. I'm gonna talk to him on Monday when I see him.
Man, Krista is a brutal trainer, man. He won't even send you the kudos that the promoter
know.
sent you, man.
I know. I think his strategy was pretty much to not get my confidence up and just to make me humble and keep being a student. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess you got to do that. But, it was from that performance and me saying that this kid's got a dog in him that the nickname, at least I believe I came up with the nickname for you, the Korean Pitbull.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are you were the original. Yeah. You named it for me.
I mean, Joshua, it's not every day I get to come up with a cool nickname that sticks. And, and then, I remember at one point, Chris Cully, who's somebody who, you train with at,
And Chris, yeah.
yeah, man, he's a cool guy. He's someone I'm looking forward to meeting in person soon. We talk a lot online, and a great fighter. And he referred to you while talking to me. He referred to you as a Korean Pitbull, so I was like, "Oh man, this nickname is sticking."
Oh yeah, I know. Chris is a cool guy. He definitely is.
Well, I mean, he tells me that you give him good work, so I mean, you definitely have the reputation of being a very good fighter. Is anybody else, I mean, besides me, referring to you now as the Korean Pitbull? I just want to know if that nickname stuck or not.
I mean, there are some, but mainly it comes from people who watch your videos and then your promotion and your promos.
Yeah. Well, before that, I mean, you had another nickname, something like Babyface. Am I right?
Yes, that's correct.
And I mean, you still kind of have a baby face, so I see where that nickname is coming from.
Yes, sir.
Am I right? It's just, based on your appearance, there's no other reason for that nickname?
Yeah, pretty much. They used to call me. They just used to call me Babyface when I was in school, in high school.
Yeah.
And it just kind of stuck with me ever since. That's where the name B comes from. It's like just a letter B.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask you about that because you're like BDT on everything.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yes, sir.
What's the DT for? Is that something I could even ask about, or what is that?
Oh yeah. It means don't trip. I just don't like putting my personal information on social media.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Of sense.
Yeah.
So Joshua, you've done MMA, you've done I guess Muay Thai, kickboxing, whatever it is. I mean, which one of these sports do you see yourself going into?
I'm just contemplating on sticking with the stand-up striking. There's it's weird. My long-term injuries kind of went away after I stopped grappling. It's not the art. I believe it was just my partners. In stand-up striking, you can't really go all ham or it turns into a fight. But in grappling, you can go 100%. Like you can try to kill the guy and kind of tap out and it'll be over. But if your partner doesn't know how to control, then they can really yank your arm, for example, an arm bar really hard, and it's hurting before you can even tap. So I pretty much just decided to kind of stick with the striking. I'm getting older too. I don't have time to train 2-3 times a day on different sides, and yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. And you're working or you going to school? I mean, what is it that you're up to these days besides the training to fight?
Yeah, I work as a general contractor for the post office, and I still help on my mother's business, and I just live with my girlfriend in Anaheim, and I just work, and whenever I can, I train as much as possible, and yeah, I just try to enjoy life.
So I mean, is she paying the bills? Are you the sugar baby, or what's going on over
Oh,
there?
I wish I'm the sugar baby. But unfortunately, she's the sugar baby right now.
I love it. I love it. That's
Yes,
the way
sir.
that's the way it should be, man. I like that,
Yeah,
Joshua.
definitely.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Keeping it manly. I like that, Joshua.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
So you're looking into doing the striking stuff full time, as opposed to the MMA thing. If you're gonna go pro, then it's probably gonna be in kickboxing or Muay Thai.
Yes, that's correct. And maybe just one MMA fight just to say that I had a pro one. But that's kind of still up in the air. We're just gonna kind of see how I feel later.
But where does like Joshua's love lie? I mean, if you had all the time in the world to kind of
Yeah.
train for whatever you wanted and do whatever you wanted, which one would you be doing?
Well, honestly, if I didn't need to go to work, and like these kids that train that their parents support them and they train, they have no job, then I'll go to MMA. It's the popular sport, and I do miss the grappling aspect of it, but it just takes a real toll on your body, and you work all day long, and you get beat up, and you got to repeat every day, 5-6 times a week. It really definitely takes a toll on your body.
Well, that's why we've got Fightersrep. That's why we're trying to build up this kickboxing sport,
Yes,
I
sir.
I
Yeah.
can change your minds about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but no, I still have mad love for the kickboxing and the stand-up aspect.
For sure,
You know?
for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
That's very cool. You mentioned you help out your mom sometimes. I mean,
Yeah.
I think this is a cool opportunity to give your mom a plug. I believe she has a Korean restaurant. Am I right?
Yes, she has a restaurant in Buena Park. It's called Town Family Kitchen. It's on Beach and Artesia. So we're
It's-
open. We're open for dine-in.
If somebody Googles it, how do they spell town?
Oh, yeah, good question. It is DAOM.
Guys, go out and check out Down Restaurant. Support him. Support
Yes,
Joshua
sir.
and his mom,
Yes, sir.
man. They're hardworking people trying to make it, especially in this pandemic, man. Stuff has been crazy,
Yeah.
huh?
I know. If you guys go there, you mention Fightersrep, we'll give you free dumplings.
I love it. I love it. I gotta come by there, man. I gotta come by there. The food, I must say, man, the stuff you put on Instagram and social media looks incredible.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate that, George.
How long have you guys had the place?
We opened last year, no, 2 years ago on New Year's.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's coming up to 3 now. So hopefully we'll keep continuing.
Wow. Well, congrats on that. Is that going okay now with the pandemic and everything shut down? How are things going over there?
It's all right. We survived through the delivery apps. And right now people are getting a little more comfortable. They're coming in, but we're still taking all precautions, measuring their temperature before they enter. Obviously, you can't wear masks while you're eating, so
Yeah.
we make sure that people at least bring it, and then when they leave, they wear it for their safety.
That sounds awesome, man. Well, I definitely need to come check it out. And anybody watching,
Yeah.
definitely go check out Daom. It's DAOM. Restaurant, just Google it. And it's in Buena Park, you said, right?
Yes, sir. Buena Park.
Show some love to this small business, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
If you guys are watching, you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, the bell notification icon next to it. Join Knucklehead Nation. We go live with Manny Robles every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific. We put up a fight, whether it's old or new, on Wednesdays, also 7 p.m. Everything's at 7 p.m., Joshua. And we do a live interview every Friday at 7 p.m. And our guest today is the amazing BDT Joshua Fachtmann, a.k.a.
Thank you.
the Korean Pitbull, man. It's really exciting having you on. We got Marcelo Lumakang in the chat here. He says good food.
Hey, Coach Mark, what's up?
He's in here. He says good food, so he's doing the cosign for down, brother.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Coach Mark. I'll see you soon.
For sure. So, Joshua, man, your experience at Fightersrep 5, I mean, again, I say it's the only opportunity I had to work with you, and I look forward to working with you again. But what was your experience like at Fightersrep, if you don't mind sharing that with me?
Oh, yeah, of course.
And you can be you can be as critical as you like, because I'm always trying to improve the show. Obviously, that was our first striking show, and we've done a ton since then. But if there's anything else I can do for you guys, definitely something I like to hear about.
Yeah. I think it was kind of the most easiest promotion that I've been a part of. Not too much hassle. I'm not talking about the opponent, but like the process of it. It was a lot more easier for the fighters to kind of go through that whole process of weighing in and kind of doing the physicals and the tickets and all that. I'm kind of glad that George, you don't really bug the fighters regarding the sales and stuff. Some promoters really bug a lot, and it becomes kind of annoying. Because they only see you as money, pretty much. But I appreciate that you really try to look out for the fighters, and you want to promote us, and you want to kind of get us in a new light. You appreciate it, George.
For sure, Joshua, because here's the way I look at it, man. Tell me if, maybe I'm crazy.
Okay.
But, if I can push you guys out there, and encourage you guys, then there's more eyes on you guys. And that not only builds your brand, but in building your brand, it builds my brand as well. It's like a win-win. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand, for the life of me, the promoters that, kind of look at you guys as a statistic and just, look, I want you guys to sell tickets. Obviously, if you guys don't sell tickets, I go under. But I figure that at this point, that's something you guys understand. Am I right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so, that's kind of the way I look at it, Joshua. If I can get, I will, tell you guys, please sell tickets. But at that point, an adult's going to be an adult. You know what I mean? I can't really do much beyond that.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely know what kind of entertainment that we're getting into, and in entertainment, you got to sell tickets to people to entertain.
Yeah, for sure. So that's a real relief that you told me that, especially considering it was my our first striking event that you competed in, and I feel like we've really improved since then. So I appreciate you telling me that, and I hope to interview you again after the next fight so we can get your input on that one as well. Another thing that I see in other combat sports, I'd love your opinion on this, Joshua, is, I feel like, especially in boxing, man, when somebody loses, and not that you lost, you won at Fightersrep, but when somebody loses, they kind of lose a lot of steam, and I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. I feel like whether you win or you lose, if you got in the ring, you deserve a lot of respect, and especially if you just put on a show. I'm more interested in guys putting on a show. What do you kind of think about that mentality, and what would you kind of do in my position?
No, I agree with you. I don't really think, for me, win or lose, it doesn't matter. To me, it's more about me versus myself kind of thing. If I go in there with somebody and I lose or I win, either way I won, personally, to myself. I'm gonna go home feeling good about me. and me actually going in there and beating myself and all the doubts and all the fears that you get before you enter the ring,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, that's my take on that.
That's really interesting, Joshua. I mean, what's kind of running through your head,
Yeah.
before a fight, and where do you feel like you're the most anxious during the whole process?
During that whole process, I think the most part that really gets you is when you're waiting to actually fight. But when you're actually ready, you train for 2 months, 3 months, or whatever, and you go in there and you warm up, and the card's starting. And while you're waiting to fight, I think that's the most anxious part, because now all those 2 months or 3 months of work, it comes out to this however minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever, however long your fight's gonna last. Um, but yeah, once you actually get in the ring, when you're walking towards the ring, you're like at the most peace you've ever been in.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and then after the fight, you feel great. But the most anxious part for me would be waiting to fight.
Yeah, yeah. And how about the
Yeah.
weigh-in? I'm always curious about how you guys feel at the weigh-ins. I would imagine that's pretty stressful.
Um, personally for me, what I try to do is I just kind of, if I see my opponent, I just kind of talk to him. Like me and I forgot his name, Kapushin. We were actually waiting to weigh in, and he was right in front of me, and we just sat down and we literally talked, and we chatted, and he told me about his girlfriend, and we just kind of hit it off a little bit. And I just try to make it like that because I don't have any animosity towards my opponents. I don't hate them. I'm not trying to really hurt them that badly where they need to go out on a stretcher or whatever. This is all just a sport. It's a pure competition aspect for me.
Very cool, man. Very cool. I appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed about you too, besides your, very pit bull like aggression during the fight, was the fact that, man, you were jacked. Like you are a ripped. You were ripped to the bone, man. You were really in great shape. Kind of tell me about that. I mean, what does Joshua Fachtmann do? What does the Korean Pitbull do? What does the Korean Pitbull eat besides the Daum restaurant in Buena Park to
um,
look like that? You know?
I just kind of just go on like a smart diet. I don't keep myself on a strict diet. I just make smart choices. If I have the choice to drink water compared to a beverage, obviously I'll drink water, and I'll just kind of do a portion control. And other than that, it's all training for me. I try not to lift weights. And if I train, the weight kind of easily comes off. So I'll only need to cut about 5 pounds the week of.
Wow, wow, wow. And I mean, you're not a little guy. I mean, you're what, 5'8", 5'9"?
Yeah, I'm 5'9". Yeah.
And how much? I mean, what weight do you typically fight at?
I think I was at 140 to 145. I fight at
Wow.
35 before too, and I walk around at 160, and going to 35 was not a good feeling. And
Yeah,
I don't think,
yeah.
yeah, I don't think I'll go back down to that again.
I mean, 5'9", fighting at 145, whatever, 155. Do you feel like you're bigger than most of the guys you fight?
No, actually, no, I don't think so. I think I'm
No.
more on the smaller end.
Wow. Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I think the guys I fight cut more weight than I do, because they obviously want the advantage. But I don't really mind cutting less. I literally only cut like 5, maximum 10 pounds if I have to. I feel like me being me cutting weight and training, I don't get 100% out of my training because I'm hungry, I'm starving, I'm weak. So I just kind of I'd rather fight people at my full strength and knowing the fact that these guys cut more weight than I did and they'll be more tired than I am. And that just kind of gives me a little mental boost personally.
I like that. I like that. And I
Yeah.
mean, what are you typically eating during the weight cut? Because I think a lot of people would be interested in that.
A lot of salad, a lot of salad, at least for lunch, a giant, you could even call me cow, but I eat a lot of salad during lunchtime. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Very nice.
Mhm.
Very nice. We've got some people in here. Justin Hong is in here. John
Yeah,
Tom
that's my
is
boy.
in
What's up,
here.
Justin?
Who are the who's Justin? Who
Yeah.
are these people? Who's Justin? Joshua, tell me who that is.
Justin's he's been my friend since I was like 15, and he knew me when I was running amok, and I actually trained him a couple times. So he's really into this, and yeah, I'm actually gonna train with him this Sunday in his
Very
garage.
cool. Very cool. You say running amok. I mean, what do you mean by that? What were you doing, Pitbull?
Um, Shoot, I guess everyone has the same definition of muck, just looking for trouble and trying to be the baddest, coolest kid that everyone talks about.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever get into big trouble growing up, or did anything happen?
Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone's been through trouble. Everyone's kind of got messed around with law enforcement here and there, and
Uh
etc.
oh. Oh, is that something you can share with us, or you'd rather keep that hush?
No, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of the fighters have been incarcerated or went to juvenile hall when they're young and whatnot, and that kind of teaches you a valuable lesson about life. And yeah, I definitely learned my lesson after my experience.
What was your experience? What happened to the Korean Pitbull that turned him into the Korean Pitbull?
Um, my friends did a lot of stupid things, including myself, and you get sent to juvenile hall. You come back and you kind of give your mom a heartache, and
Yeah.
you get incarcerated, and you learn your lesson again as an adult, and yeah.
Was this in Long Beach or was this in Orange County?
No, this was in Orange County. Um,
Okay, okay.
yeah, can I tell you a funny story?
Do it,
Uh,
man. That's what we're here for. That's what people love. They love the stories. Give them to me, Joshua.
yeah, Tommy Mai, he fought for you. Tommy Mai, my teammate.
Tough kid, man. Vietnam Tom. I love that
Yeah,
kid. I
Vietnam
love that
Tom.
kid, man.
I actually met him when I was incarcerated, and we stuck with each other
Wow.
ever since, and talked about training, and we would actually train at the jail together with literally no pads, no nothing, and I'll literally hold mitts for him with my hand, and then we would do kick drills with no shin guards,
Wow.
and
Wow.
yeah, and then he told me that I'm gonna see you outside, and we're gonna train together, and boom, he fought for you.
He's fought for us a couple times and he's undefeated with us. And he's a tough son of a bitch, that guy.
I know. He's a tough one.
So you guys were training in jail together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, sir. We were.
That,
I know it's crazy. I know.
that is hilarious. I mean, how did that work though? I mean, are you guys in there with a bunch of other people and you just say, "All right, bro, let's do it." You just stand up and start, sparring, or I mean, what was going on there?
Yeah, I mean, people they would do their little workouts and stuff, and me and Tommy were just like, man, that's not even a workout. They're doing like 100 push-ups, and they're all like, yeah, that was fun, but we would do like five. Me and Tommy used to do about 1,000 push-ups. It's kind of
Wow.
unbelievable, but that number 1,000, you can actually do that within about 2-3 hours if you actually keep doing it.
Wow, man. And how long were you incarcerated for?
Oh, not too long, like uh, shoot, like 150 days or something like that.
Okay, okay. Well, I'm glad you're out of there and you're behaving now, is what I like to hear, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah, this fighting thing keeps me in check.
What do you want to say? I mean, to the young pit bulls out there, the pups out there that might be doing stupid stuff.
Um, Remember all those things that your parents used to tell you, and you would think they were wrong and they don't understand you? Well, the older you get, the more right they are, and the more you're gonna tell them how much you love them and how much wrong you were at that age, and you're gonna regret causing them all this trouble eventually.
And Joshua, do you feel like combat sports kind of helped you straighten yourself out a bit?
Yeah, I think it definitely did. I went in there trying to learn these moves so I can kind of look cool and kind of defend myself or pick fights. Let's be honest. But
Yeah, yeah.
after that, it's just that ego just went out the window, and it became like a self journey, like a self perfectionist journey, where I try to achieve my personal goals. And now you have like a goal in life, kind of, rather than this standard where you go to college and you got to do this, you got to do that. But when you actually train and you actually love it, you get like this meaningful, real, personal goal that you get deep inside you, and you just kind of chase it. It's a journey for everybody.
Yeah, well, I know the not picking fights is that's definitely Krishna is not about that life. From what I know about Krishna,
Yeah.
he's not gonna let you go around and show off. Am I right? Krishna's a very like traditional kind of
Oh
guy when it
yeah.
comes to that stuff, right?
Oh yeah. He'll slap you. He'll slap you pretty hard. So, oh yeah.
And
He
we're talking
definitely know how to
about
do that.
and we're talking about Krishna, which is I mean I'm assuming he's your head coach, right?
Yes, he's my main head coach.
Man, he's the man. It's been a real pleasure working with him and
Yes,
with
sir.
you. I love working with you guys and Tommy Mai and Mma Coach too,
Yeah.
man. I hope we get him back too. You
Yeah.
you guys are a bunch of warriors out there, man. I love it. And the cool part for me is, I mean, it's I'm from the East Coast. Down in Miami, I mean, it's mostly Caribbean people, black, Hispanic, not a lot of
Hmm.
Asians, not a lot of Asians. And for me, it's been really cool to come out here to California and to see all these, Asian kids doing their thing in the fight game and, doing real well, man, doing really well.
Yeah, I'm glad because you don't really, there's that stereotype where Asians, kind of are just more smart or they just focus on their job and but we're trying to kind of break that dogma and just kind of let everybody know we have our own competitors also.
I love it,
So
man. Scott Lynn is in here. He says, love you,
hey,
bro.
hey, Scott's my boy. He's like my best friend. He's been with me more than 10 years. What's up, Scott?
He says, Josh, appreciate me, bro. Say it. By the way, awesome interview. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, brother.
That's it.
And your teammate, the freight train, is in here too.
Hey, what's up, Abel?
He says the homie B, what a good guy. He loves his mom a lot.
Yeah, that's true, Abel. Abel, you're right, man. Abel definitely knows how much I love my mama.
Great guy, man. Neil, the security's in here. What's up, Neil? Appreciate you joining us.
Hey, what's up, man?
Abel Latta says, "Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna?" Joshua.
He's at home taking care of his two mini juniors.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Krishna. Shout outs to NHC. I mean, is NHC, are they doing good right now? Everything's okay with this pandemic?
Yeah, we actually officially opened, I believe, last week. So it's been about 2 weeks of normal class. So we're up and running. We're good. Yeah.
I love it. But you were today in UFC Gym La Mirada getting some work in, am I right?
Yes, sir. Right after where I shot here.
Is it like right nearby you? Is that why you head there, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, my mother actually lives around here, so I was actually gonna visit her. If I don't visit her, she gets pretty butthurt. So thought I'll see her after that.
I bet you get some good food while you're at it too, my man.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna to go some food home too. Yeah.
I'm a little bit jealous of you there, brother.
Yeah.
Neil, the security says Joshua gives me a Max Holloway vibe for some reason. And he says 5'9", 140 to 150 is healthy for that size.
Yeah. That's right.
Abel Latta says, and now I'm just reading some comments from the chat. People are in here talking
Yeah.
about you,
Yeah.
Pitbull. So let's see what they're saying. Abel Latta says he eats top ramen. He went to Thailand.
Yeah. I didn't go to Thailand, but I know what it means.
Josh, we had a pretty exciting interview not too long ago. We had, Oscar Mueller on here.
Yeah.
And him and Abel Latta, I guess they got some beef they're trying to squash, and that was
Yeah.
pretty excited to have that. Is there anybody that you're looking to fight, or you just down to fight whoever?
I'm just down to whoever you guys send me. Me and my coach will talk it over and we'll get this thing going. But I don't. It's kind of hard for me to like talk, call people out because that's just
Yeah,
not my
yeah, yeah.
personality. I just don't really have animosity towards all these people I want to fight. I want to compete with them, but there isn't somebody where I call out with bad intentions, unfortunately.
For sure. No, I get it. Scott Lynn says, keep it hush. And then he says, say babyface. Babyface, hey.
Yeah, he knows he has my nickname for sure.
And Marcelo Lumakang says, combat sports saves lives. So big shout out to Marcelo, man. We were
And
actually...
one thing I forgot to mention. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. One thing I forgot to give shout out to is Dog Pound MMA. They've been helping me a lot with the sparring guys. Coach Mark, Neil over there. We got Ray that fights. I'm pretty sure you want to get Ray on your show. Ray's a good fighter.
Yeah, we had Ray. I think it was Fightersrep 5 or 6. He came out and he put on a hell of a fight. He's a really good fighter. So I'm looking forward to having him on soon. I hope. And even Marcelo, I think, was talking about making doing a pro fight. So I was kind of excited about that. You know?
Yeah. Coach Mark. My girlfriend called him Mr. No Neck because you punch him and he just doesn't even blink. Yeah. Coach Mark, don't get mad.
Believe it or not, not that I'm anywhere in Coach Mark's league, but I train at CMMA, just to get some exercise in, Joshua. And Coach Mark went out there one time, and I got to kind of lightly spar with him. And man, definitely a talented guy that I would love to see at the Fightersrep ring at some point. You know what I mean?
Definitely. He's a good guy too.
We have a guy named, or maybe a gal named his name is Fighter Pot 1. He said, Josh came to my gym at All In MMA and he was very respectful. And he says he came in with great Muay Thai skills, respect from Coach Pot and Coach Johnson.
Yes. Definitely want to give shout out to All In MMA and Cisco and Coach Johnson over there and Coach Pot. Coach Pot actually used to train with my head coach's grandfather at Long Beach Kickboxing.
Wow.
We all connected somehow. And definitely shout out to All In. They definitely helped me out a lot too.
Are we talking about Omri?
Yes, definitely. Yes, sir.
All right, you see that? I know a little bit about the history here.
There we go.
There we go. And so shout out to All In MMA, man. Appreciate you guys, Coach Pot and Coach Johnson, for joining us. Then we've got Jay Lou saying beast. That's all he said. He just said beast.
Yeah, Jay Lou's my boy. We actually had our first MMA fights together with my MMA coach Noah Tillis. And Jay, he's never been in a street fight in his entire life. And his first fight was in the cage in his entire life.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. That was pretty intense.
And we've also got Richard Williams watching on Facebook. So appreciate you, Richard Williams. I believe he's a promoter out in Arizona. So, keep yourself away from my Korean Pitbull, Richard. This is my Korean Pitbull. And he's got a restaurant that I'm going to frequent at some point very soon.
Thank you, George.
Josh, I tell people all the time, man, Southern California has got all the talent when it comes to fighting, man. We got so much talent down here. I mean, what do you kind of feel about this place? Do you also feel this is kind of the mecca of combat sports here?
Yeah, I haven't been to other states to train. But I feel like personally, just the way Southern California is, the lifestyle here, I think it's like a breeding ground for fighters.
Yeah.
And I feel like we have one of the best gyms all around. I think a lot of good guys come from Southern California.
We don't have a lot of promotions though.
That is true.
As far as pro promotions, you know what I mean?
Yes. That's true.
Do you feel like that's something we could improve on here in the state?
Yeah, definitely. I'm just waiting for you to be the first pro kickboxing promotion in California.
Well, we are. We are. We actually got a pro. We did our first pro show in February. You weren't aware?
Yeah. I do recall. Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I saw some of the fights. They were great.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I was hoping to have you and Abel on there, but it looks like we're gonna have to wait maybe till the to the end of the year this year, man. I don't even know when CSAC is going to allow for fights in
Yeah,
California.
no, that's unfortunate. It's keeping everybody on the edge, but I guess if you look at the positive side, you have more time to train and hone your skills and master your craft. So
Yeah, man.
this
Yeah.
is a win. Yeah, yeah.
Joshua, where is the Korean Pitbull going to be in 5 years?
5 years ago, I said I'll have my own gym open by now. Um, Definitely didn't go as planned, but within 5 years, um, hopefully I'll be running my own academy, and married and have little juniors running around, and yeah.
Got you, man. So, I mean, has that kind of been part of the plan all along to fight, get that on your resume, and then open up your own school?
Yes, exactly. Like I mentioned, this fighting thing kind of kept me on the track, and I see that the generation now it's a lot worse than how it was when I was younger. And I think they don't really have a role model or something to look up to or give them an extra motivation not to do anything stupid.
Yeah.
So that was my goal here. I've been living here pretty much all my life, 20 years and plus, and I know everybody in the city. So they kind of know how training helped me. So I
Yeah.
just want
Yeah.
to kind of do that back to them and give them a little outlet to, take out all their energy on rather than going to parties and doing stupid stuff and getting mixed with the wrong crowd.
And if you could open up your academy, within these next 5 years or 5 years from now, I mean,
Yeah.
where would your ideal location be?
I mean, my dream location would be in heart of Fullerton. There's this little T-Mobile shop that I've been looking at for a long, long time. But if I can't there, then probably Buena Park or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Mhm.
nice, Joshua. Man, keep pushing it. I look forward to you doing that. I look forward to you fighting for us. Hopefully, before the end of the year, man.
Yeah. I mean, whenever you guys get to go, just hit up Krishna and we'll discuss it and then we'll get that thing going. That itches, it hasn't gone away. It's just getting more itchy. So I'm ready when you are, George, or when California is ready, I guess.
Well, let me know. Let me know if you need any cream for that itch.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. But I know what you mean. I really look
that's
forward to
good.
having you on the thing. Pitbull, man, I've had you on for almost an hour now, my
Yeah.
man. Before I let you go, is there anyone you want to shout out? Any potential sponsors that should be sponsoring the Korean Pitbull? Anyone you want to, send some love to?
Yeah, no sponsors, but I want to send love to my gym, Master Kim, the owner of the gym that allows us to train there, my head coach, Krishna Kim, all my teammates, Pasadena Fight Academy, Savant really helps me over there. I've trained with Team Classic a couple times. They got some good knowledge. And Dog Pound MMA, and I appreciate everyone that helps me in my little journey. And I'm definitely not going to forget about you guys.
No sponsors yet, Joshua?
No, I don't. I'm not. I don't really. I don't really mind. I don't really care for those things, to be honest. And
Yeah.
this is just my own. And I just want to compete. That's
I
it.
get it. I get. Well, I mean, I think it'd be great, at least for some gloves or something. So if anybody's interested
Oh yeah.
in sponsoring Joshua, where can they reach you at social media if they want to show you and the camp some love, brother?
Yeah. You can. My Facebook. Just search BEEDT. And then I'll be the first one there. So you can add me on Instagram. You can add me on Facebook. And just if you want to show some love, let me know. I'll represent all your stuff. And yeah, hopefully we can build a connection.
For sure. Maybe we can make something happen to you on our end. We just recently, got Monco Muay Thai, who's our glove sponsor,
Oh, nice.
to
Okay.
sponsor somebody in Georgia. So I think they would be more than happy to do so with somebody here in California. So
Okay.
we'll do some work for you there, brother. But Alec Cabrera's in here. He says he loves
Hey,
you.
what's up, Alec? I love you too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but anyway, Joshua, man, I appreciate you joining me today, man. It means a lot to me that you were willing to do this with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me, George. I appreciate you. I appreciate how you always want to, put us in the light and try to build us up. I really appreciate that.
Hey man, it's it's important to promote you guys. And if you guys want to follow Joshua Fachtmann, aka the Korean Pitbull, give him a follow on Instagram at B, which is spelled BEE, and then DT714. That's where you guys can follow. But anyway, knuckleheads, that's all me and the Korean Pitbull have for you guys today. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button. Join Knucklehead Nation. We do this, at least every Friday with the interviews, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays with other content as well. And until next time, keep it clean. Me and the Korean Pitbull, we're